Hello friends, this is Scott. We're in my Salt Lake City front yard, and that is my umbrella tree, which AKA a weeping mulberry tree. Seems like people get offended when I call it a umbrella tree. Oh, that's not an umbrella tree. Well, I find that it's kind of a generic term, and anything that's in a weeping form that I can prune into an umbrella, I'm going to call it an umbrella tree. So sorry if that's a problem, but I don't know if there is an official umbrella tree, but I'm calling it this one that. So anyway, you see the backside, and you can kind of see where the shade is, and that's about the height that I need to prune this tree, because the shade has limited the growth in the backside. But yeah, it needs a little bit of a haircut, and quite a bit of a haircut, I should say. And you see those outside looping branches; those are the ones that I need to prune, and I'll show you a little bit more of that. Kind of specifics, but yeah, this tree is kind of hogging the ground level, where nothing can grow underneath it, not getting any sun. So there's about approximately where I want to prune this tree to. And again, as I show you in this video, I'm going to do it a couple different times and start with a rough, kind of a rough outline, get it to the approximate shape, approximate height. And you see my prodigal son, Mateo, he's a junior in college, and he's getting ready to leave to go to a rave concert tonight. So anyway, he's living his best life, and if you notice, I'm wearing my Kappa Sigma shirt, which is that's his fraternity. And I was never a fraternity guy myself, but my son's living with his brothers and having a good time and enjoying his life at the University of Utah. So I can't complain too much. Well, here we go. I'm just again, a rough prune to the right height, and I'm just going to go around the whole tree and do the best I can, and then I'll fine tune it at the end. But these trees are very forgiving. They're going to grow back out anyway. So whatever I do, if I screw it up, it's not the end of the world. You do notice, though, that I start exposing some dead twigs that are behind the main foliage, and so I've got to remove a lot of that. So you'll see me breaking some of those branches off. But I'm going to cut it a little shorter than I usually do, and it wasn't planned, but it's just kind of the way it ended up. But yeah, because I did it that way, I need to remove more of the dead branches behind, because again, they will show up. If I would have left a little longer, then I wouldn't have worried about it. But yep, just going around and just trying to cut it at a basic height, and I'm just guesstimating and kind of stepping back every now and then and taking a look. But yeah, this isn't a hard process. I'm not going to hurt this tree by this pruning method, but I just want to kind of get it down to what I think is the base level. But as you'll see, as I through this video, I need to come back and prune it even shorter because I was a little too long on this side. But again, the shady side limits the amount of growth, so there's a lot of dead twigs that are exposed on that back side. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come back through here and shorten it up. But again, to start with, you always want to prune short, and then you can always, I should say, prune long, and then you can always prune shorter. So if you prune too short too soon, then you got yourself a situation. So I'm going to prune long and then come back and tidy it up a little bit. But yeah, you can see that this tree is doing well, and it's definitely enjoying where it's at. Now all the other trees in the yard are become mature plantings. I've got other trees that I planted from just little saplings that are now huge. My magnolia tree is the one right behind it. It's massive, and I grew it from probably an 8-foot tree, maybe 15 years ago. So yeah, mature plantings, and this yard is getting shady, and so I'm going to have to adapt to that as I go. I do have hostas underneath this tree, so they like the shade. So I'll be adding more hostas probably as this front yard becomes more and more shady, but as it grows bigger. But yeah, it's pretty. I've been getting a lot of compliments, even though I haven't been around to do much maintenance, that people think it looks like a forest, and that's kind of what the look that I wanted. And I just need to get in here and do a little bit better job at weeding and making sure I keep these plants pruned up to make them look the best that they can possibly look. So yeah, this yard is maturing, and it is mature now. And it's the point where I've just got to maintain it and keep it under control. And again, I got to weed, and I got to add more bark mulch, I think, to this to make it look good. But yeah, for as little time as I've spent in Salt Lake, I'm pretty happy with my front yard, and I need to spend a little bit of time here going into fall to make it look a lot better than it has been as I spent all my time down at the homestead, and I've been neglecting this front yard. But yeah, it's this yard is looking pretty. It's definitely green, and again, the plantings are all mature now, which when we took over the property, they were not all mature. This was a tree that was here when we bought the property over 20 years ago. I had a weeping tree that was right in front of the bay windows there that I ended up killing through aggressive pruning, but I got my blue Atlas cedar in the background there. I'll show you a little bit more of that I've got to prune too, but that's becoming a huge tree also. So yeah, I'm enjoying my my front yard for the time that I spend here. Again, not a lot of time, but now here's a look at what I want to prune. Is I want to prune anything that's looping outward from the main plant. So that's the main objective, is to get in here and to cut all those looping little branches. So it kind of makes it a tighter form, and then I'll at the end I will prune it up a little bit better so it looks a little more level. But yep, get in here with the loppers and just going through and just again pruning all the outside loops that are coming out of this tree. I've done several videos pruning this tree over the years, and I commonly get the comment about, hey, a hedge trimmer would work well. Well, yeah, it would, but unfortunately I've taken a lot of my yard tools down to the homestead, and so I don't have them here with me. So yeah, I'm just doing hand pruners and loppers, and I'm gonna just do the best I can to get up as high as I can and cut these looping branches down to make it look into a more compact form. So yeah, it's there are tools that will make this job easier, but again, when you're living between two different homes, you're kind of sometimes I'm kind of limited in what I remember to bring to each location and what I don't. So yeah, but I'm having a good time here. It's a beautiful day. It's a little cooler today. It's probably in the high 80s, which for early to mid-August is usually 100-something degrees, which I think it will be in the next few days, but I'm going to enjoy it today because it's not that. So yeah, and here's a bigger chunk that's kind of coming out the side here. That this tree used to have two different crowns to it, and I went ahead and pruned the top off, a second crown. And as you see, it is leaning because that's the direction of the sun, that it's getting the sunlight, and I've got to make sure that I keep this thing pruned so that it doesn't just end up tipping over. But yeah, it was starting to create a couple of new crowns, and I don't want that to be the case because that'll just create weight and then pull this tree over farther. So yeah, I'm just going to be sure that I get rid of those and get those all pruned out. But yep, getting up high on the ladder, and again, it's my death-defying stunts here, but this is an old rickety wooden ladder, and it's seen better days. So I'm, I had to readjust a couple times because I was afraid I was going to fall. But as you see, I'm not too far off the ground, but it seems like you're a lot farther when you're up on top of the ladder. But yeah, I'm just getting the top loops, making sure that I make it look the best I can. And again, I'm not looking for perfection though. But I want some sunlight to hit the ground cover, and I want this tree to be shaped up and look a little better than it has been. Some people like it all the way to the ground, and that's not my preference. So, but that's the way it is a lot of the time because I haven't got around to pruning it. So again, it is early October or early August, and the summer's getting by me already, and I've got to catch up on some chores. And down at the homestead, the vegetables are growing, and I'm doing a lot of harvesting, so that's taking up a lot of my time and a lot of weeding still. But from now on till the end of the year, I want to try to get both places looking a lot better than they have been. But there we go. That's a kind of a bare bones look. But you see all those dead sticks behind, and you see some growth out of the main trunk I'm going to prune out. So I get in here, and when I cut it short, I can get inside a little better and see what needs to be pruned, and I'll cut some of those dead branches off. But lots of dead sticks behind, and that's just natural for an umbrella tree. Is the ones behind die, and the ones out front are green. So yeah, I'm going to get in here and start going back and trying to get a better height. But yeah, I cut it too high to start with, and I've got to get back in here. And again, lots of dead branches, so I'm just gonna, as you'll be seeing here, I'm just gonna kind of rip those out because they're all, again, dead and brittle. So it doesn't take pruning; it just takes me just getting in here and just kind of pulling on them and whacking them. But yeah, still requires a little bit of a hand pruner, but not too much here. As you see, I'm going around the base. As you start to see in this video, I've got the forefront, my main planting, very focused, in the background, very, very blurry. And again, I did not do that on purpose, but I'm kind of digging it. I kind of like it. So as you'll see here, it's becoming more and more prominent in this video. It's it seems kind of like it's purposeful, but I don't know. I just put it on video and filmed, and again, the glare of the sun might have helped with this, but yeah, it's kind of cool. I have that blurry background, and then the clear target that I'm pruning here today. So yeah, we'll enjoy it while I go, and even stepping back, I'm not too blurry. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on going around. Again, I didn't cut it short enough the first time around, so I've got to go back through and cut it to a new height. And again, I usually don't cut it this short, but yeah, it was time. And with that, I do have to prune a lot of the dead stuff behind that I normally would ignore, but yeah, that's okay. I want this tree to look good, and I want to get a little sunlight down to the ground, because all the other plantings are growing huge, and I need to do what I can to get some sunlight in here, because the other plantings aren't helping us out much. Yeah, I'm just going around and getting it to that new level, and hoping this will be the right level and not have to do it again, but we shall see how this goes. But as you see, I'm pruning it way above what some of those dead sticks are in the background, so I'm going to have to get in here and just rip those out. And it's not a big deal, but it's just it looks a lot better without the brown sticks behind. But yeah, this is a beautiful tree, and again, it's probably I don't know if it's a 30-year-old tree or what, but it's been here forever. And again, it had two big crowns on top, and I had to cut one of them off because I was pulling the tree over. And when I cut it, I pretty much dropped it on my head, and it was a pretty sizable piece of tree. So yeah, I got a little dumber, a little smarter with that dropping on my head, but not sure yet. But yep, getting down to the end and just shaping her up a little bit more. And yeah, again, you see my blurry background. I did, it's pretty funny how that all worked out today, but I kind of like it. Yeah, I like that forefront blurry background. Wish I could take credit for it, but yeah, it is what it is. It just did it on its own. But yeah, it took me a little while longer. I'd let this tree grow a little bit more than I usually do before I prune it, but yeah, it's going to look good for the rest of the year, I think, as I'm ripping some of those dead sticks behind. But yeah, we're finalizing the last of the height on the back side, and hopefully it's going to look good as I step back and take a look here and figure out if I've done enough or not, because I'm getting kind of a little bit tired of pruning. But it's fun, and again, this yard needs lots of work, so I'm just going to do it in stages. And like I say, I take a look back and just kind of see where I missed, and yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. But finishing up the front and getting down to the nitty gritty, and it's kind of a tough time of day to film. It was late afternoon, and you got a lot of sun and a lot of shade, so it became a little bit challenging. But yeah, you got to do. I'm at a point now where I got to get work done when I can. I can't wait for the perfect lighting to film. So it is what it is. And at the end of this video, I'll film the finished product in shade. And we went out to dinner and came back, and I wanted to make sure it was shady when I took the final video to show you what it looks like from the finished product anyway, because it's hard with the sun. Again, it becomes a pain in the butt. But yeah, again, I'm just, I don't have a measurement stick out here. I'm just trying to do my best and using my eye and, trying to get it as level as possible. Again, this tree is leaning, and it's always going to lean. That's just the way it is. And it's never going to be perfect, but I can make it look as good as I can. And again, opening up the canopy here, we're cutting off the bottom, 4 feet, is really going to help the undergrowth, the understory grow, and make the yard look a little better. So yeah, again, the blurry background, I'm kind of liking this. Yeah, I got to figure out what I did, because it definitely wasn't on purpose. I'm definitely not a filmmaker by any means, but there's the carnage from all the pruning, and I made a mess. But I'll rake it all up, and I've got a purpose for it. And again, all the yard waste I have here I've got an advantage, because I have that in-ground trampoline in the back that I pulled out that I had my old compost bin in that I just need to fill it. But here we go. So I put a lot of prunings in here, and I've got a lot more to do before I start bringing in soil. And again, when I bring in soil, this will definitely rot down and shrink. So I'll be having to top it off as we go. But this year is the year I've got my own garbage pit, and I'm going to use it. And I just keep on swimming with it. And I do have some volunteers. I got some potatoes. I do have some kind of a squash or a crookneck or something in there. So yeah, it's whatever you grew and had seeds from the old compost is going to grow. But here we go. I went out to dinner and I came back and it's shady. So there's a look at the umbrella tree / weeping mulberry tree. Not perfect by any means, but it looks cleans up pretty nice. So yeah, that's as good as it's going to get for me anyway at this point. But I appreciate you watching this video. These videos are either very popular, pruning this tree, or not so popular. So hopefully this one is a popular one because I need some help growing my channel. So if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Thank you.